Shalom, shalom, Mr. Khan. Shalom. As we start to move into our Wednesday, actually we're in our Wednesday, we're moving out of our Wednesday. I want to come in here and say hello, shalom, peace, grace, blessings unto the family. Let's see here. We are going to be using some material that is not ours. Federal law allows us to reproduce, distribute, exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures and videotapes and video discs under certain circumstances. This is used for teaching, parody, criticism, news reporting, but we're not making fun of anyone. We're using it for news reporting and teaching. I want to say to you, yesterday we set out to do this stream, and we had some technical difficulties, so we had to wait until today. But in the meantime, and in between time, we need to stay accountable. We must always stay accountable. No matter what happens, we have to stay accountable. And so therefore we keep our head down and our hands up, worshiping and praying to the Most High God of Israel, our Elohim Yah, whom others would call Yahweh, Yehovah. However you get with it, the name is Yah. His son is our Savior. There's a lot of people who are going to say that, that's wrong, something else. But the name is Yah. And you can't deny that. You can't get around it. It's not Yeh. It's not Y-E-H. It's Y-A-H. And we want to thank the Most High, Yah, for everything he's done for us. So in the meantime and in between time, my family, let's just take a moment and just look at something just for a second. The Father's prayer, or the prayer for what they call the Lord's Prayer. And I have failed, family. I'm still learning this. I know it, but too afraid to say it until I actually have it down. I do have it down to the end for me, but I want to be able to have it down. But this is the prayer that we pray. And so before we do anything, let's just do that. Even if we do it in English, you have the Hebrew there in front of you. Everybody face the east. Thank you so much. And let's just lay this at the Father's feet. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Let come your kingdom. Hallelujah. Let be done your will according as is in heaven, so also on earth, is the way that it reads in Hebrew. Hallelujah. Give to us bread that we need today, and forgive us our debts as also we forgive our debtors. And don't lead us to hands of temptation, but deliver us from the evil one, because yours it is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. Now we're going to come back in here. Now that's where I get the last two lines. Hallelujah. Amen. The last two lines down here is where I get caught up. But family, I made it this far. Okay. And I want to thank Jediah over at Kai Yeshua for this. We're in the Hebrew Israelite scriptures right now. That's what you're looking at. And so we'll say thank you to Jediah for providing that to us and allowing us to be able to have this in the family so that we can use it now. I was going to come into here, like I said yesterday, and we were going to get in here yesterday and just share some things with each other and talk about some things, because I like to do that. I like to get in here and get with you guys and hang out with you guys, and if I find something interesting, bring it, lay it on the table. I don't have a church that I am a pastor of. I don't have an assembly that comes and hangs with me because I'm the teacher. No, I don't do that. I am chronicling my walk, my adventure. There are plenty of other good teachers out there. Now, if someone decides that they want to come study with me because I'm studying on a particular level, or I'm doing this and you think that that's fine, I have no problem. You know, you can, come hang out, come study, come by the house. You know, we can do this, but don't follow me. You know, because in my travels and the way that I go, you know, you might fall off following me, because I might fall. Excuse me, because I might fall off. You know, now the Most High forbid that should happen, because you know I'm trying to be as diligent as I possibly can be. You know, and staying away from the madness in Israel, and just trying to be, you know, straight. So, you know, we can study together. You know, two two can't strive together unless they agree. You know, so we can't walk down the same road. We can't have a debate on, you know, unless we agree. You know, and not necessarily debating the word, but we would say, you know, talking about, you know, doctrinal issues, and rebuking and reproving one another using the scriptures. You know, we believe the same thing, and we believe the same scriptures, and we use those scriptures and hold them, you know, up in hold our lives up against it, so that we'll be able to walk with other people who believe the same way we believe. You know, birds of a feather flock together is what they say. So I wouldn't be hanging out with a Mormon trying to discuss these things. I'd be showing them the error of their ways and how they are not even in the book. The book is not theirs. So I gave my friend the other day, like I said to you, the information. I gave him B'nai Israel's. I didn't do Ron Dalton's Hebrews to Negroes. I like what Ron Dalton does, but he doesn't he doesn't do it for me in a way that I would share with someone outside of our truth. I would use B'nai Israel, because B'nai use a lot of their own documents against them. You know, B'nai will show you the books from the 14th century and the historicity of it from the 14th century coming forward. Whereas Ron is into, you know, the bloodlines. Where did they go? How did they get hidden under the people? Who are those people today? What's the genetic line on that? You know, Ron is going to take you, you know, back. They're both going to do the same thing, but as far as being able to show you know, Ron's documentary is more geared toward us, waking us up. Benea's documentary is geared toward us, but it's done in such a way as to where if someone outside of our camp looks at it, not that we are a camp, but I'm just saying that if an Edomite looks at it, the Edomite would be, oh, they never told me that. And I've shared with people, and I've told people, you know, you've been lied to the same way we've been lied to. So don't get mad when I break this bread with you and show you the error of your ways, because I also have to look at the error of our ways. So anyway, you know, I saw some things, and I'm afraid it's a little dark over here. I'm sorry, guys, but I didn't get a chance to get, all the lighting together. But that's okay, because we're not going to be up in here a whole lot for so long. So I wanted to talk about some things first of all. So we're going to go, I'm going to go into here first. I'm going to show you guys this. Now this what I'm going to show you is from right here. Now, my thing is, you know, I want to talk to us about things that affect us in our lives right now. You know, I'm on a raw food diet. You know, I eat raw. I still eat meat, you know, but I use my meat like a flavoring. I don't have a lot of meat on my stuff. So I make myself a big plate of salad, and I'll chop up, you know, itty bitty, you know, like what bacon bits would be, you know, a piece of meat about the size of my finger like that, and sprinkle that around my salad. Your meat, but the basis of your everything on the plate is raw, and no salad dressing or anything, just, you know, just that way. So I'm saying that is because I'm paying attention to a lot of the soft kill that is coming along. Like I just told you guys, I have bought a bag of bell peppers that turned out to be seedless, all of them, which let me know that those are GMO. Anything that doesn't have a seed in it, the creator created everything that had a seed in it. You know, so you can put it in the ground and get and have it regerminate and produce again. But you know, they've turned off the reproduction thing inside the gene of the seed. You plant the seed, the plant will grow and it'll give you a plant, but you get no seeds out of it. So I bought a whole bag of bell peppers, and every last one of them were seedless. So I'm saying that soft kill is on. They're doing the soft kill. They're messing with everything. They're messing with your food. They're messing with your air, everything. You know, before I weed whack my backyard, I wet it down, because everything they spray in the sky, you know, if you don't wet it, then as soon as you hit that with a weed whacker or a lawnmower, it all goes up in the air and it's dust and everything, and you're breathing it now. So I wet that crap before because I don't want to breathe it, to the point where I'm about to even start wearing a mask, because that stuff comes down at night. So looking at the soft kill is what I'm saying. I want to get back to this. This is something that I found in my neighborhood, and I suggest that you do this in your neighborhood. And there's something here. I'm going to drop the link in so you guys can see it. But this is. Let me bring this up. I'm going to actually turn that off. Let me bring this up. Where is it? Let me see where I have it. I think I have it here. Yeah, here. Let me fix the camera, guys, because I knocked it around a little bit. There we go. Okay. So now I want you to see that this is cell towers to be discussed. This is right here in my town, okay? And they're showing you here a piece of a neighborhood, okay? And where this proposed cell tower is supposed to go in the middle of this neighborhood. Now listen, guys, I live way up on a mountain, okay? And there, you know, we need cell towers to get our cell service around. But now we're talking about 5G. Now we're talking about the cell service that is the killer. 5G is a killer. 5G will 5G has the potential to alter, is the word I want to use, your DNA. Okay, now a lot of people that I've been talking to, a lot of people I've been studying with, everyone is saying the same thing, that by the time you receive the mark, whatever the mark is, when the mark is activated in you or on you, it will change your DNA. And when it changes your DNA, then you will have that fallen angel DNA, that Luciferian DNA, whatever DNA that is, that's what you're going to have in you. And that's why they're going to be receiving those boils. We're not supposed to have any of that crap in us at all, period, point blank, at all. So this is where they're proposing. You see this in the middle of a neighborhood. Okay. Now that square is 39 acres. Okay. That's 39 acres, but you have houses out beyond that boundary. The cell tower itself is gonna send signals out beyond that boundary. So do you think that those children are not going to be affected by 5G? That is a DNA altering frequency, a military frequency that is now being brought to the people. Okay, this is what they're talking about. This is an aerial view of a proposed project site for a cell tower in Kelseyville. Clear Lake lies to the north of the photograph. Okay, now this was January 23rd, 2019 by Aiden Freeman. Okay, and then here's the article on it, and the people are fighting it. Right, now listen. The Planning Commission will hear a public comment Thursday morning on the proposed wireless cell tower in the Clear Lake Riviera of Kelseyville. Danville-based tower developer Horizon Tower intends to construct an 85-foot monolith tree-like, because they put them in your neighborhoods, they make them look like trees, and they're not, so they can blend in. On a 39-acre property located, the tower will be built to accommodate up to 4 wireless carriers. Now, the tower is built to accommodate up to 4 wireless carriers, but it doesn't say whether they're 4G or 5G, and we know that they are slated to bring 5G. 2020 5G is going to be here. Now, the part that I wanted to get to was to show you that even though they're holding town meetings in the whole nine, there's no rights, there's nothing, because the government has already stated that it's going in, and there's nothing you can say. Let's see. Let me find this. The people are saying we're not saying. The people are saying this. We're not saying that we don't want cell service. We'd love to have better service. We just don't want the tower right in our backyard. And they're right, because there is a mountain that they can put the tower up on top of, and it doesn't have to be right down in anyone's backyards. I mean, we live right next to a volcano. You see the picture on the top of the site? That picture, that's Mount Konocti. That's a volcano. So they have cell towers up there already. They don't have to build a new cell tower. If they're going to do 5G, they can do 5G up on that tower. Problem is that 5G, because 5G doesn't have the range that regular 4G and the other towers have, they have to put more of them out, and that's why they need to get them down in the neighborhood, because you see, when you have 5G towers down in your neighborhood, that's going to work with the smart grid, like those smart meters that are on your home. So there are some people who are going to be affected by this, and I'm trying to find this. Okay, so right here. Radiation is emitted from cell towers, and regardless of whether it causes health problems, it certainly is perceived by many to do so. This will negatively impact the price of homes near the tower. Leading up to the approval of the Verizon tower, Verizon lawyers argued to the Board of Supervisors in a December 12, 2018 letter that property value arguments based on health concerns are a proxy for the alleged environmental impacts of RF emissions, and thus are preempted by law. Preempted by federal law. So federal law got in front of it and said, well, just because it's going to drop property prices and people have health allegation or health issue, just because they have health concerns, and their concerns are also over the cost of their property being valued for less. They're saying that the tower, that concern is already preempted by law. That's not enough to stop them from putting the tower in. Okay, the planning commission does have authority over decisions regarding the placement, construction, modification of personal wireless service facilities. Now, that's all they have. They have authority over the placement, construction, and modification. Okay, the bottom line is, but they can't stop it from going in. They can say, well, we don't want it placed there. We can say we want to have, we don't want to have this type of construction. We want another kind of construction. They have rule over how it's modified, but they can't stop it from going in. The proposed tower site on Mojave lies within a 39.5 acre parcel owned by so and so, and it's zoned rural residential land. And it shows that it's surrounded by lots to the north, south, and to the east. Yeah. So there was something else in there that I read, because the sheriff made a comment, and the sheriff is saying we need it because, here it is right here. Here it is right here. In support of a cell tower in Lakeport, and that's where I live. Now the sheriff's trying to get a cell tower over here, and our constituents over here have already shut it down. So in support of a cell tower in Lakeport, which was recently approved by the Lake County Board of Supervisors, undersheriff argued that improved cell phone reception would increase the sheriff's ability to communicate during an emergency. I didn't know they passed that. That was recently approved. Public safety issues in Lake County rely on cell phone and high-speed data communications for command and control during fires. Well, what do you mean during fires? They didn't do anything during the fires. He said, I strongly support the placement of cell sites around the county. They didn't have, I mean, their service, they weren't complaining that they didn't have good service or anything during that time, but they're talking about right here, let's see. Many of these residents live within a 750-foot radial area around the proposed tower and are concerned that the tower would create a fire hazard, block lake views, disrupt animal habitats, and pose a health risk. So this is what the people are fighting. So I want to show you that that's 39 acres right? But the signal for that cell is going to go outside of that box. It's not just going to stay in that box. So what they propose on doing with 5G is they want to have now in order for this tower can support 5G, okay? But 5G needs more towers. So I'm imagining this is a tower, but that 5G towers need more because they're smaller and they don't have as much wattage. Actually, they're smaller and they put out more wattage, but they cover less ground somehow. They're more powerful, but they cover less ground, which means they need more of them in a closer proximity in order to get the coverage that they need from, like, 2 or 3 cell towers. They have to put more of these things up. Now that's what's going on in my neighborhood now. So I want to show this. Now, if you need to find out where cell towers are, here is a website, Expert GPS. And let me take this. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna drop it in into a link so you can click on it and then go and see what cell towers in your area. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this: do not download the free trial of this unless you want to pay for it. There's on here already. All you have to do is click one of these letters, and your town will come up. I click on L, and it shows me there is nothing in my town, not yet. It says that they've approved it, but it may, we have people here who fight. They will go to court and they'll fight against this and they'll keep it out of here if they don't want it in here. That's one of the things about living in Northern California. There's a lot more liberals up here, and these are people who will actually go to bat. The fight for the smart meters in the state of California started here. The fight to get our food labeled for GMO started here. All of that stuff, when we go against California, it all starts up here from Berkeley north. That's because that's where it is. This is where it all is. It's up here. That's why I moved from Southern California, because they'll do anything in Southern California. So here's Lands of Mission, Santa Barbara's, California Towers, Las Mariposas, Las Uvas, Laytonville, Rancheria, Lemon Grove, Lemoore, likely Rancheria, Lindsay, Live Oak. I mean, anywhere. I believe this is California. This is California. I mean, I don't know if you can look at other states. I'm going to look at this real quick and see if you can look at other states. But if you're in California, you want to grab a hold of this and see if this is in your area. Download a free trial by now. This is okay. So maps and download GPS waypoints for 961 towers in California. Okay, this is just California. Now the GPS mapping software, I think that goes all around the country, but this particular map is just for California. Okay, and I'm going to drop this link into the description box down on the bottom, so you guys will be able to get it. Okay, so this is a crazy thing. We don't have let's see, articles and links. I'm gonna drop it right here. You guys will see it going in a minute, and then that'll be saved, and then as I'm showing other links or doing other links, I'll put them in here for you guys so you can get them. But that one is already in there. Okay. And then there was some other things that I was looking at that just rocked my boat. I mean, just really go over here. I got them all lined up here. I'm just trying to find them, guys. Okay, and then I saw something that I posted this March 3rd, 2016, and we're going to get back to that in a moment. But how do I want to do this one? I want to play this video for you to show you that there's this one guy and the way he's doing it and what he's trying to do. So let's do this.
But that's a massive order. By 5 and by 5:30, I don't know what.
Shaky camera, guys. We're on the road right now. I have been for 5 hours. I'm in Kelowna, British Columbia today to meet up with a man named Curtis Stone, but you may know him on YouTube as the Urban Farmer. And the reason why I took the time to drive all the way out here to meet up with Curtis today, because he is doing something that I find incredible. I think it's very forward thinking. I think he's going to be seen as a pioneer. Some people may call him crazy. I think it's incredibly smart. He is 5G proofing his house. We're talking about an electromagnetic resistant paint. He's going to be redoing the windows, redoing the ceiling, and completely making his entire home resistant to electromagnetic frequencies. We're also going to be speaking with an EMF expert, a man who understands how these electromagnetic frequencies affect our health, our psyche, and why we don't want these to be entering our bodies, and why it's a good idea to 5G proof your entire home. So stick around, guys. We're on our way to the Urban Farmer's home, Curtis Stone, to watch him 5G proof his household.
Yeah, so he's going off to 5G proof his household. Okay, and so that was something that I wanted to show you. You see, because these Edomites, they know what's going on. They know what's happening. Okay, and they're not sharing this information with anyone. It's getting pretty dark over here. I can't see myself. Okay, so hold on. Let me put a light in here so we can see. Hold on. It looks better, but it's not as bright as I would want it to be. But hey, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to set the lighting up the way I wanted it, but that's okay. That's okay. We're doing something different. We're working off of a different platform, and you know, I've been having technical difficulties. I hope that this is coming over okay. And I'm monitoring from a different source, but I'm hoping that this is coming over okay. So anyway, I'm saying that these Edomites, they know what's going on. This is the reason why they're jumping on rockets and trying to leave the planet. Like they're building, they have bunkers. They got bunkers underground. You wouldn't believe. They have these underground bunkers. Well, I'll get to that later. They have these underground bunkers that, you know, they're like hotels underground, and they're selling tickets for them. You know, they're selling tickets, and they're selling condos and homes and all kinds of stuff. So let's see these. Let's do it like this. How did I find those? Let's do it like this. Because I'm talking about it now. I hate to move past something when I'm talking about it. Okay, so like I'm saying, they know what's going on, and the scripture says that they're going to be running to their holes in the rocks. they're going to be running to, into their caves and saying, fall on us and just kill us. And, but no, because they're trying to kill me so I can miss my punishment. No, you're going to stay alive so that you can get the punishment that you dished out. This is your reward. But, but I want you to know that they are doing this so heavily that they know exactly what it is they're doing. Now, I just Googled um, amazing underground bunkers. Okay, let's see if we can get this to focus. See if we can get this to focus. There we go. Sometimes you have to mess with the cameras. So I just Googled amazing underground bunkers, and from this photograph, you can see. Let's just show you a couple. Okay, now here, this one is showing us the door going in right here, and then what it looks like underground. Let's just take a look. Look at this, Mishpaka. This is what they have underground. Now, that is a painting of trees up against the wall to make it look like, you're having in a tropical paradise. They got slides and swimming pools, and all of this is deep underground. These are, look, you, I'm trying I'm trying to keep myself together here because I've been studying this for so long. Deep underground military bases are called DUMBs. Okay, you can Google deep underground military bases. That's exactly what they're building. They're building the same thing. Now you can see that they've got some earth stacked up on top. Either they built into the side of a hill or whatever they did. It's heavily reinforced. Concrete retaining walls, blast doors, all kinds of things. You can see they got they're not showing you everything, but you can see they've got air ventilation stacks on top of this puppy. There's probably, communications like nobody's business, like military grade. They've got cameras outside. They're building this up just like if you see in the movies, like when the world comes to an end, Mad Max, all that stuff, and somebody goes underground, and this is what they hide out in. Let's just continue. Let's take a look. Okay, that's that one. There's this one. Okay, this is I can tell you that's former military. I see these all the time up here on military bases where they store their bombs underground. So if the military base is not using these anymore, I can certainly see someone buying this. I mean, they've bought missile silos and flipped those out. I mean, you can search it. Google the missile silos and look at what they've done to people who are living in those doggone things. And they're living underground waiting for something to kick off. Okay, now look, they're going to get in here and show you what it looks like. This is an underground. This is. They know. These people know what's going on, Mishpaka. They know. They've got telescopes. Okay, they've got a telescope so big, it's called Lucifer. It's in Arizona, and it's more powerful than the Hubble. Now that's ground based, and Hubble is supposed to be the most advanced, telescope, ever. Yet they've got one here ground based, and they can see farther than the Hubble. So the question is, what are they looking for? Look at that back wall. You see what they got? They got a shrine going on back there. Well, that's a chapel, that's a church, or whatever. What they got, they got buckets of storable food. Man, that's a bag of old Roy dog food on the left hand. I know. I used to feed my dog old Roy. Oh my God, I used to feed old Roy. Look, family, I'm telling you that. Oh, sorry about that. I'm telling you, they've got our best interest. They do not have at their heart. Our best interest is not at their heart. Okay. Now I just received. I have a 3-year supply. I got a 3-year supply of storable food, just like they got right there. Okay. Now, if I don't need it, all praises. I've got 3 years worth of food. I'll never have to spend money. If I do need it, all praises. I've got 3 years worth of food when nobody else has any. I'll be taking care of my Hebrews. And hopefully I'll have some. I got to be careful because we're going to have some knucklehead Hebrews. Not every one of our brews think like us. And we're out here trying to survive, waiting on the Most High. While we go through this tribulation that's about to kick off. This time of Jacob's trouble that's about to kick off, and there's going to be some other brews out there. We're going to talk about them in just a little while. That's not going to be so forthright. They're going to be looking for other things. Now here is one that looks to be under construction. Let's get it up. And the image will not show anonymously. Okay, I don't want to have to see it anonymously. So where is it? Let's see. EliteReaders.com is where it's taking me to. YouTuber builds an awesome bunker in his backyard that can survive World War III. They think they can survive this thing. So look, you see he's digging it down into the ground. And he's got it steel reinforced. I don't see any concrete yet. But, we don't know what's behind those walls. We don't know what he's done. But it looks like it's not going to be very big. It's just going to be enough for him, and he may not survive in there. It's not very deep. I'm telling you, these other people who are building this stuff, these elites that's building this stuff, they're building theirs miles underground. Okay, I'm going to show you their stuff is miles underground. They are not playing. They've got like hotels. This is deep underground. This right here is deep underground. You're not going anywhere with that one. The most luxurious bunker ever. Look at this one. Look at this one. I'm just showing you some. I'm letting you know these people are ready. These people are getting ready. So I'm saying this to you, Mishpachah. If you're not getting ready, what are you doing? I'm not saying that you have to prep all out like this. What I'm saying is that there's a time coming. When. And we're the bad ones. We never do anything to get ready. People are getting ready all around us, and then we drag our feet. And at the last minute, oh, I didn't know. Well, how are we going to eat? We need food. Yeah. See, now this is a military. You can see it's old. They done bought this. They're going there and clean that up, and they're gonna put their bunker in there. And you can see you got, I don't know how many levels this thing is, but they're obviously underground and well secure because that's how the military does it. And you can see that's not a Hebrew over there. I don't see any brews doing this. Okay, and that's the reason why I'm talking to you guys like this right now is because I don't see any of us doing this. Not show anonymously. Okay, some of this won't. He said he spent the night this is ABC News. He spent the night in a luxurious underground bunker. Stop. I'm gonna turn the volume up and let's see what it says. Okay, let's see what it says. We're not gonna spend too much time in here, Mr. Pecan, but I wanted you all to see this. Down some because I don't know how loud it's gonna be. All right, so here, let's do this. I'm gonna back it up and let her talk. Stop. Here's the. Hold on, yeah, there we go. I need to take that full screen off because we lost audio. Now we just want to go back. Let's do this again.
Full of threats, it can be hard not to think that the society we take for granted could collapse in a heartbeat. We even entertain ourselves with that notion.
I never wanted any of this.
In the Hunger Games movie, Katniss and her allies live in an old nuclear missile silo. Turns out real life is not so far off from the movies. So we have just landed in Wichita, Kansas. We're headed to a place where they take doomsday very seriously. Part of the secret to surviving the apocalypse is being completely off the grid. In the middle of nowhere. Checkpoint here. Yup, we have arrived. Hi, how are you? I hope we're in the right place. We're with
Military.
the guard post bristling with guns. But
Military.
inside, a warm welcome.
Yeah, welcome to Raven Ridge of Kansas.
Ravens Ridge of Kansas, Site 11, a former Atlas intercontinental ballistic missile silo.
Each half of this door weighs 16,000 pounds.
Wow. A structure.
Now, didn't I just say that they were taking military grade facilities and flipping them out? Okay, so here's the thing. If this is no longer military, why is there an armed guard on the gate? That means, trust me, Mr. Picard, you're not going in there. This is not for us. Okay, let's continue.
The U.S. government built with doomsday in mind.
So JFK was here?
And which Larry Hall repurposed, imagining a different doomsday. It's a luxury condo complex deep underground.
We could go to the bottom of this thing in 29 seconds.
15 stories down.
Security and sick bay.
Let's come in this way and get you settled in your rooms.
We're here for a sleepover.
Come on in here. This will be your digs for a night.
Your average bed and breakfast is not this heavily fortified.
All of the exterior walls are 9 feet thick.
The structure is now a luxury condo tower. The condo's going for $1 to $5 million a pop.
I want to show you the pool.
Okay. Swimsuit.
Well, you can skinny dip.
It's 85 degrees in the pool area.
You can feel the humidity.
And it's so humid, it fogs up our camera lens. The concrete walls painted with beach scenes. There's even a waterfall.
Feels like we're not in Kansas anymore. I like that.
Larry's survival condos are the high end of a booming business. More than 3 million Americans are thought to be committed preppers, most stockpiling supplies in more modest settings.
So you keep this packed at all times?
All times.
Disaster preparedness is now estimated to be a $500 million a year industry.
Ask yourself, are you prepared?
There are companies that cater to the apocalypse.
Introducing Wise Company Gourmet Emergency Food.
Survivalism for the Martha Stewart set.
Bon appetit.
But tonight at Raven Ridge, it's even better than that.
Quick start.
After dinner, it's down to the theater for a movie.
This really is kind of the ultimate man cave.
It really is, and especially because there's a bar right next door.
More than 400 to choose from. We go with The Book of Eli, in keeping with the theme.
This place across the street, they got any water?
I feel like I could sleep through a nuclear bomb. All right. Good night. My alarm clock says it's 6:45 in the morning.
All right, so that that's what I wanted to show you. I'm not going to go through the whole doggone thing because that's not for us to go through. There we go. I got a better light. Yeah, there we go. All right, so the main thing, Mr. Picard, is that we are not prepared. Okay, so anything can happen. The grid can go down wherever you live. If you live in a city and the grid goes down, you are in trouble. Trust me, you're in trouble because everybody's going to want to eat, and when the food runs out, they're going to start running on each other. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen today or tomorrow. I'm just saying that I got out of the major metropolis because I was not ready to. I'm by myself, right? I have my elderly mother with me. I don't need to be in an area where I got to fight for my life and hers too. Where I am, if you ever seen the movie Red Dawn, I am out of the way. Okay, and my suggestion to you, if at all possible, is to get out of the way. You have a better chance of survival if you get out of the way and hook up with some other Hebrews. You have a better chance if you by yourself running in the mountains, as opposed to being down in the city when the chaos goes, when it goes nuts. Yeah, there's a big sacrifice of living outside of the metropolis. But a lot of us won't want to go to the wilderness like we're supposed to because we want our dainties. We want the good stuff that we have here in the States. I'm cool with the wilderness. I grew up in the country, so I'm cool with the wilderness. I don't have to take any of this. I got a backpack, a bug out bag named Bob, bug out bag, and it stays packed. So, if it's time to break wide and I have to break wide, grab my bag and I'm out. We need to be we as a people, we are not prepared at all. We never have been prepared. We weren't prepared to go into slavery. We weren't prepared for the fall of our ancestors. We're not prepared to get back on board with the Most High so that these curses can end. We're not prepared. We're not prepared. There's a way to go about this, but we just won't get on our faces. We won't. We won't come together. We won't. So there's a whole bunch of people that this thing is going to affect, and fortunately, we're going to lose a lot of folks because they won't get ready, right? I've been telling you guys for the longest to get ready. I'm not saying you have to leave. I'm just saying get ready. Let me see. What else do we have out here? And I wanted to show you, where is it? Because you saw that when I showed it to you. It was 15 stories underground. This is you can Google this stuff. I'm not playing. This is real stuff. There was another one I wanted you to put this back on the screen because I want you to see how they did this. Okay, I'm gonna put this back on the screen. I want you to see how this one was done. Look at this. They got an airplane parked next to the house. Okay, and I can guarantee you that because they're showing it to you, that you go from out of the house, down the stairs, through a couple of different security doors, and then crawl through a tunnel in order to get into that bunker. And it looks like it's two-story, and then there's something else off to the side. So is it a missile silo that they've converted? I don't know, but what I'm saying to you is that these people are getting ready. They're in Arkansas. They're in. I was just talking to someone else. I was talking to a sister, and she said she had property on the Arkansas, Louisiana line, and I told her that all of that, according to the military and the Navy, all of that's going to be underwater. So if you got property there, you might as well forget about that because they're saying that the next event that we have that shakes and breaks the country as the water starts to move inland, there are places that are going to be completely submerged that are not submerged right now. And the Louisiana-Arkansas border is one of them. So you need to be in the Ozark Mountains if you're going to be there because that's where they're all retiring to because they know the elevation of where the water is going to be. So they're retiring above that in the mountains, above the water, so they don't end up in the water. And the military is doing this, okay? So, I'm just saying that, we don't prepare like this. And because we don't prepare like this, is a reason that, we are going to be in the condition and the position in which we're in now. Because we don't prepare, and we don't think about the future. We just live day to day to day to day. And that's the reason why I decided, I had to get off my butt and do something because, 3.5 years is the length of time that it's going to take for the Antichrist reign. Okay. If I'm here, I got food to live through that. If I'm not here, whoever comes behind me, they got food. Okay. And I say if I'm here, whether I'm dead or alive, if I don't make it through and I'm not alive, then whoever's coming behind me, they're going to find it. They're going to have it. If I'm not here, I don't have to worry about it. But at the same time, if I am here to live through that, then I've got food. That's the thing. If I bring my son up here to me or whatever, then we've got food. We're going to be okay. So I wanted to show you that this is exactly what's going on. And this is how you find out. I mean, when I do my research, these are the things that I do. This is the stuff that I look up. I go looking for things that nobody thinks to look for. know, and see. And then there's something else. These people, okay. I want to say I'm paying closer attention as I notice the racism that's ramping up around me. Um, as I was saying before. Oh, hold on. Let me because I'm on that subject. Let me get this. So because I'm on that subject, I wanted to get into this because I had spoke about it before, but we were having technical difficulties. I didn't get a chance to really get to it. This is all the paperwork that I have to file in court for my mother. Okay. Now, if you guys were able to make it through that last video, where I had some serious technical difficulties, were unable to really hear the audio. Um, I had stated in there that you do not have mothers of children. You and your man separate, and you guys are fighting over the kids. You don't have custody of the kids until you do the paperwork, baby. You have to do the paperwork, okay? Mother or father, you have to do the paperwork for custody for your kids, because if you don't, and you and your man get to fighting, or somebody determines that the house is unsafe for the children, CPS will swoop in there and take your kids. Why? You don't have custody, and they've already done the research and found out that you don't have custody, so therefore they swoop in and they take custody, and now you got to listen to them tell you what you can and cannot do with your kids because they have custody. And don't you see how hard you have to work to get your kids back? And how long do you have to go through them before they actually give you custody of your children back? They don't. They don't. So, so it's the same thing with my mother. I'm saying all that to say this. It's the same thing with my mother. This is $500 worth of paperwork that I have to go file in the courts, and I'm broke. The money that it takes to get the paperwork in the first place. Then I had someone working with me who helped me get it online. Then you go down to the courthouse and they talk to you like you're a fool because you're not using. See, I'm not using a lawyer. I'm doing this on my own, and because I'm not buying the paperwork from them, they look down their nose at me. Because I'm coming here filing this paperwork without a lawyer, they look down their nose at me, and then they talk to me crazy. So this is St. Joseph's Hospital. Okay, I'm gonna show you that St. Joseph's Hospital. Let me get see Queen of the Valley. That's where Mama is. Okay, I got 3 doctors right here. That are indicating. That's why I showed you 3 of them. Okay? Because there's 3 doctors, 3 different doctors right here, and they're saying, it is my professional opinion that she no longer has the ability to make independent legal, medical, and financial decisions on her own. So, since they're saying that she doesn't have the capacity to do such a thing, then I have to run in there and take care of this for Mama. Problem is, see, this is where you guys saw me a couple of weeks ago break down about the fact that they're trying to steal my mom, because if she doesn't have the capacity to make her own decisions, the social worker said, well, we can just get her to make a mark. We'll witness it and we're good. That you're telling me you're going to steal my mama. She can't make a medical decision for herself, but if she makes a mark, you'll witness it and say, well, she knew what she was doing. She made a mark. And then they swoop off with her. So this is what I'm fighting against right now, because they're threatening me with that. That if you don't get your paperwork done, we're going to do it, and then we'll take control, and when we're done, you won't be able to do it. So I have the paperwork here, but they know that that this is $497 to file this paperwork. I'm not asking anybody for money. I'm not. For those of you who know me, there are people who are out there who've offered to help in the whole nine. This is what they do to us. What they do to us is this: they keep you tied up in court, so that they burn up your resources. With them burning up your resources, they know that when you run out of money, you can't completely fight them anymore. And that's exactly what they did to the Black Panthers. That they do that to us all the time. When they realize that they can't fight you the way they want to fight you, Then what they do is they get you in court and they tie up your resources because you have to continually spend money in the courts to keep this going, you know, and to fight against them. And then they up the ante every time till they force you to the point where you have to get a lawyer in order to fight them because they keep upping the ante. And this is the same thing that we're going through with my dad, my baby sister, and myself. Remember when Daddy died 2 years ago? We're still fighting that case, y'all. But the problem is that when we go to the court in Detroit, the clerks don't look down their noses at you and talk to you crazy because you black folks dealing with black folks. Up here, I had a woman laughing. I've been to the court almost 7 times. This woman's laughing and joking. Every time I'm in the line, she's laughing and joking and tee-heeing and ha-haing with lawyers and aides and the interns and the whole nine. And then when I step up to the window, she's looking at me like, it's so funny look on her face, like I wanted to slap that off her face, right? But that's how she's looking at me. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. A minute ago, you were just laughing and joking and tee-heeing with everybody. And as soon as I stepped to the window, only black person in line, now you all sourpuss. Are you kidding me? Now, every time I come to the window, this happens. And like I said, I've been to the court almost 7 times now. Now I know you racist. And if you say that you're not, then you're doing racist things. Because when the black man comes to the window, now you got an attitude. Your paperwork's not together. Okay, so what do I need to do to put my paperwork? I can't give you any legal advice. I'm at the window. You don't have all your paperwork. Okay, what paperwork do I need? Well, I can't give you any legal advice. I'm not asking you for legal advice. I'm asking you a simple question. You say I don't have all the paperwork here. What's missing? That's not giving me legal advice. So around and around and around we go. Hospital's been calling me. I'm not taking the calls. Everybody's call. I'm not taking the calls. I'm not taking the calls. I'm not dealing with you. I mean, I got a text message. Get my phone here real quick because I'm gonna show you guys this. Where is it? Where is it? Now, hit this right here. It says you might, okay. Now is this text message, no, so how is this text message to a neglectful family who no longer answers their phones? Okay. Now, I'm not neglectful, and that's slander. I'm not answering my phone because I'm inside the doggone courthouse every day after work, and I don't get any signal in there. So because they can't reach me, they send me a text message like this, and if you read the rest of the text message, because I put it up there for you, if you read the rest of it, they're talking about taking my mom. That's exactly what's in here. So I called the chick's boss and told her boss, I'll file a formal complaint. You don't call me you don't leave a message, send me a text talking about how neglectful I am. You don't even know me. And since you work at night, you have no idea what I've been doing with all your teammates and your colleagues throughout the day. So information is not being passed down to you. You don't know what's going on throughout the day. So you, in the middle of the night, send me a text. The text came through at 10:30 p.m. Baby girl, I open up my store at 4 o'clock in the morning. What makes you think I'm awake at 10:30 p.m.? And you're going to send me that and threaten me? No, we got a problem. So the reason why I'm doing this right now is to show you guys that they don't have no love for us. Okay? That this is the reason why I'm paying closer attention to the racism that's happening around me, because I'm seeing it now like I've never seen it before, and I grew up. I mean, I was like 5, 7. Well, I was 7. I turned 7 when we got here. I turned 7 when we got to California. So from 5 years old and 6 years old, I saw the riots in Detroit. I saw the tanks in the street. You guys heard me talk about this before. We went from riot to riot. We came from Detroit, riot, moved to California, came right into the middle of the watch riots. The niggas were still fighting. Okay? And this was all across the country. The race riots were all across the country in the 60s. You know, the civil rights was a real thing. I mean, these people was fighting for real, and folks was out there dying for real. So nothing has happened since then, right? but it is starting to get itself wound up again. Okay, remember the police have no problem shooting us in the streets. Just what was it? Just last month, brother get yanked out of his car, got his hands in the air, and a cop just start busting on him for nothing. Shot out the windows and hit his girlfriend. He's standing there with his hands in the air like, what's going on? What happened? He wasn't doing anything. And the cool part about it was a brother that started it. It was a brother. See, they got these Hebrews thinking that they're part of the club. I was just talking to somebody about this. Is that when they find out when something's going to happen, when they get sat down and they realize, and when they end up treating him like a nigga, that's when he's going to realize, oh, I'm not black after all. You wearing this uniform, you got this blue badge. As long as you're doing their bidding, smoking us in the streets tonight, you're fine. But let you stand up one time for your blackness and see what happened to you. They're going to remind you of your blackness. And it's not going to be so nice. And then you'll be looking for us to defend you in that, and we won't. Because you were the individual that's been gunning us down in the streets. So when I see an officer of color wearing their uniform, I got no love for him. Until he talks to me and tells me, man, I'll die first before I turn on you. But they won't do that. So I got no love for them because you've already joined the other side the moment you put that blue uniform on. And for the days in which we live right now, you're a traitor. You're a traitor. Straight up, you're a traitor. I'm going to tell you that now. You're a traitor. Now, there's some officers out there that wear blue that are Hebrew. They're us. And they act right, and they try to do right when they're in the street. See, I haven't met you yet. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about your contemporaries who've already, and you know who they are. As a Hebrew on the force, you know who is and who isn't. I got a friend right now who is she works at the airport, and she handles airport traffic and things like that. She's an officer in blue, and she tells me all the time how bad they are. Them Negroes, and that Cody is by herself among them heathens and them hyenas. And I'm not talking about, I'm talking about our Cody wearing blue with her hair the way we wear our hair, with her thought patterns and her belief systems and the whole night. They don't like her. And I'm talking about our people, brown skinned folk. They don't like her. They don't like her because she's not like them. And she won't comply. So they don't like her. And they give her the blues and they treat her badly. And she's so stressed out on the doggone job. She's been on that job. I'm like, baby, you need to get out of there. Yeah, I know, but I've been on this job for so long. When you got 20, 30 years on, you can't just walk away from that. And she's only got a few more years to retirement. I'm like, look, I just hope you make it. And I told her straight up, and when you do, when it's up, get out of there. Come up here. Come up on the mountain. I tell everybody, get into a rural area, Get into a very rural area. And don't be afraid to because look, your grandparents lived on a farm, I mean, if you just want to take it all the way back, we were shepherd kings in the first place. And by the time we started building cities, I mean, come on, we wandered 40 years in the wilderness. They didn't have Louis Vuitton. They didn't have flat screen TVs. They didn't have cell phones. They didn't have any of that. But they wanted to go back to Egypt for its dainties and its niceties. And that's what we have to be aware of. That's what we're out here messing around in this world. People want to stay in LA because it's so cool to live in the city. Nah, I'm cool. You have a city. And all of its trappings. I don't need it like that. That's okay. So I wanted to show you that and talk about, the fact that I've been seeing, this racist thing going on around me since I've been out here kicking it. And then there was something that, oh, okay, we're gonna go here. Let me get in there. Is this it? This brother too. This man's wife died from complications in her childbirth. She was healthy. She spoke 5 languages fluently. and they showed her no love. Now I'm gonna take this, and I'm gonna put it in put a link on it so we can see it. I want you guys to watch it on your own, but I'm gonna drop it down here. And that's the it's now this. It's in politics now this. That's the link. Okay, so when you get it, grab it. It's the facebook.com now this link. I'm gonna play it now so we can see it, and but I want you guys to watch this on your own. Okay, watch this on your own because I'm playing it and you're looking at it through my camera, but I want you to watch this without its watch it without my camera's doing a funny thing, the lighting and the whole nine, but you know you're gonna see it better and have better audio on it. But I want to show it to you, okay? So we're gonna go at it right now, and I want you guys to see this. All right, check it out. Check it out. Audio's all the way up on this. Here we go.
My wife, Kira Dixon Johnson, was the closest thing that I'd ever met to a superhero. She made me far better than I ever thought I could be, and she was far better than I ever deserved. We're talking about a woman that ran marathons, that raced cars, that spoke 5 languages fluently. So we were blessed to welcome our first son, Charles, on September 18th of 2014. We always wanted back-to-back boys, and we were blessed to find out that we were going to welcome our second son, Langston, in April of 2016. We walked into Cedars-Sinai Medical Center on April 12th of 2016 with a woman that just wasn't in good health, she was in exceptional health. We went in for what was supposed to be a routine scheduled C-section on what was supposed to be the happiest day of our lives, and we walked right into what was a nightmare. Shortly after the procedure took place around 2 o'clock, shortly afterwards, we went back to recovery. As I'm sitting there reflecting in all this glow and pride of being a new father for the second time, Kira's resting, my new baby is resting, and as I look at her bedside, I begin to see the catheter begin to turn red with blood. I brought it to the attention of the staff, the nurses at Cedars-Sinai. They came in, they said we're gonna do a couple of things. We're gonna order a set of tests, and we're gonna order a CT scan to be performed stat. I was concerned, but I said, you know what? My wife is healthy, and what's supposed to be one of the best hospitals in the world. I'm concerned, but we've got a plan, okay? Blood work comes back, it's showing that it's abnormal and she's hemorrhaging. And they ordered a CT scan that was supposed to be performed stat. Keep in mind, this is around 4 o'clock. 5 o'clock comes, no CT scan. Her blood levels are continuing to drop. By this time, she's beginning to shiver uncontrollably. 6 o'clock, no CT scan. She's beginning to become pale. She's in extreme pain. 7 o'clock comes, 8 o'clock comes, no CT scan. I'm begging, I'm pleading the staff to do something. And around 9 o'clock, as I continue to plead for my wife's life, the staff at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center tells me, sir, your wife just isn't a priority right now.
She isn't a priority?
8 o'clock comes, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. They said, well, we need to do a blood transfusion. I'm saying, well, where is the CT scan?
Wow.
It wasn't until after midnight that they finally took my wife back to surgery.
Wow.
After I begged and pleaded for them to take action for more than 10 hours.
10 hours.
When they took Kira back to surgery, they opened her up, and there were 3.5 liters of blood in her abdomen. And she coded immediately. Now, I'm here to tell you this. I'm not here to tell you what I think. I'm here to tell you what I know. There are people on this panel that are far more intelligent than I'll ever be that are going to talk to you about the statistics and how horrifying they are. What I'm here to tell you is this, is there's no statistic that can quantify what it's like to tell an 18-month-old that his mother's never coming home. There's no matrices that can quantify what it's like to explain to a son that will never know his mother just how amazing she was. My wife deserved better. Women all over this country deserve better.
In 2018, the United States of America has the highest rate of maternal deaths in the developed world. Every single year, we mourn roughly 700 mothers who are lost to complications during their pregnancy. and at least 350 of those deaths are preventable. Most alarmingly, profound racial disparities persist in these statistics. Black women today are 3 to 4 times more likely to die of pregnancy or delivery complications than white women. Before we try to explain that away on socioeconomic terms, just access to care, access to education, higher income, we have to be clear that even when you control for those factors, a wealthy black woman with an advanced degree is still more likely to die or to have a baby die than a poor white woman without a high school diploma. Black women are 243% more likely to die from pregnancy or childbirth-related causes. 243%. There are.
Let me stop that right there, because I have to go back to the fact that there was a black woman on a plane, a doctor, to where a person was sick on the plane, and she stepped up to as a doctor, I'm a doctor, and they turned around and told her, oh, no, we need a real doctor. So my thinking is, what the hell kind of doctor do you think she was? Is there such a thing as a fake doctor? You're talking about you need a real doctor? Is there a fake doctor? So I want you to look at that man's face. If you can't see him clearly, you might not be able to. Let me see if you can see. This is no, I can't get it any cleaner than that. But let me tell you, that's Senator. That was this is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. This guy here. This is he's a Kennedy, right? John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, Senator Ted Kennedy, whatever. This is a Kennedy right here. This is the family profession. It's politics, right? And he is talking about. So he's out there campaigning for us. In other words, he's sitting among his colleagues and he's fighting for us. But listen, problem I have with that, that's still a slave master talking to you about what's going on with us. It's not a black person and not a black senator or anyone saying anything. It's still an oppressor talking about what's going on with us. Okay, let's finish this out.
Are, as we speak, 20 Republican attorneys general that are attempting to repeal the Affordable Care Act in our court system, after most of my Republican colleagues have voted to do the very same thing more times than I can count. So let's remember, 9.5 million. That is the number of previously uninsured women that gained health care coverage, including maternity care, which is an essential health benefit, under the Affordable Care Act.
So he is out here campaigning and stumping for the Affordable Care Act. He's using our black women as a statistic in order to bring back Obama's Affordable Care Act. Okay, because as soon as Donald Trump came into office, he killed it. Now, true enough, we do need affordable care, okay? But not like Obama had it, okay, where we were paying through the nose anyway. I mean, it didn't matter. My insurance never changed. No matter whether I went through whether I went through my company or I went through on my own, it was still $700-something a month. The only way I could get cheap health care coverage was to go through the county marketplace. You have to go apply through social services. But what does that do? That puts you back on the rolls of social services. Now you're getting your health care from the county, and you're still, I mean, it's just, you're back on their rolls. The whole idea is to get loose of these charlatans, to get free of these charlatans. I can't go. I could get Blue Cross and Anthem was still just as much, on my own as it was with my company. Right? And so you're supposed to have these policies where the group is so large that they give you the break because the group is so large, right? But my group wasn't so large that I was able to get that break. So the only way to get the break was to go get on with the county and marketplace. And then I could see myself paying $3, $4, $5 a month because I'm not getting sick. The whole point of what I was doing was that I hadn't been to the doctor in years. Okay, I had a stroke in 2011. And I've been to the doctor for those maybe once or twice, but that was because I was eating crazy. I hadn't figured it out yet. I didn't start eating raw until much later. But once I started eating raw and taking care of myself, then I found that I didn't need to take my high blood pressure medication. Wasn't taking these other pills, metformin and all this other crap. I wasn't putting those toxic things in my body. You know, I was, eating better, so my body was responding. So, it took me a while to get off of it, but I can tell you now, I haven't had a blood pressure pill in over 5 years. You know, I take that back. Let me say it this way. I haven't had to take, because you have to take them routinely. Okay, you take one at night, it lasts you, and it's a 24-hour pill. I take it at night, so you sleep through it. You wake up in the morning, you take another one, right? I haven't had to take a pill. So every now and then, my blood pressure will act up. Okay, and then I have to take a pill. Every now and then. I mean, I'm talking so seldom. Out of a 5 year, let me see, it's been about 5 years. I may be taking 3 pills, maybe 4. 365 days a year. You got 4 or 5 years and going by here. I only had to take 3 or 4 pills. That's a win to me. I'm out of the take a pill for your blood pressure zone. But just like with any vehicle, you drive it in a certain way for so long, it's gonna wear out some parts. So I can't say everything inside of here is good. It's not new anymore. But it certainly isn't in a condition that it would have been. I would have been out of here a long time ago had I not. I mean, because, high blood pressure give you a stroke, but high blood pressure can also kill you, right? Fortunately, I just had a stroke, but that was enough of a wake-up call for me to get it together, okay? So that's what I'm saying. Right here is a Kennedy he's not campaigning for you. He's not campaigning for me. He's campaigning for the Affordable Care Act, and he's just using us, and what happened as a statistic in order to get his point across so they can bring back affordable care. They have no love for us. They give a damn about us. It's all about that Affordable Care Act. That's why he was talking about these women, and that's the reason why I wanted to show you this, is because he was talking about these women, and then he moved into affordable care. Look, if you really cared about us as a people, you wouldn't be talking about affordable care here. You would add that into something else later on. This woman just died. And the man didn't say anything about them not being able to afford or health care. That had nothing to do with them. You can't take a man who just lost his wife because a hospital didn't give a damn about his wife. They said she's not a priority. Was she a priority when she bled out and died? Was she a priority then? And I'm sure that what we just looked at was something that he was using, or what was going down, for him to be able to speak to the Congress and sue the hospital, for them basically murdering his wife. But then on the heels of that, here comes a politician talking about women dying. They don't have it's the Affordable Care Act. He threw all these numbers out there, and then he starts talking about the Affordable Care Act. He don't give a damn about that woman who just died. He's using her to push his agenda. That's the narrative, and that's why I wanted to show it to you. Because they don't care about us, and this is exactly what I'm going through right now with my mother in these hospitals. They don't care about mama. They don't care about my mama. All they care about is their money.
Coverage for women of color grew at one.
Hold up. Let's do it again. What we got here? Okay, well, doesn't look like it wants to play again. Oh, all right. All right. So anyway, Mishpaka, that's the thing. I wanted to come in here and share this a little bit with you. We really have to be aware of what we're doing. And I keep telling you guys over and over and over again, you do what you need to do to save our people. I'm not going to sacrifice I'm not going to let my mother, these charlatans have my mother so they can do their medical experiments on her. It's not happening. And I hope my son will be wise enough to do the same thing for me. You need to be wise enough to do the same thing for you. Do not let these charlatans do their medical experiments on your mama. Listen, when you go to a hospital and they take blood, why do they take 5 vials? Do they really need 5 vials? Okay, you think so? Well, check it out. When you do an experiment, you put 1 drop of blood on a petri dish, you put a cover on it, you slide under a microscope, and you look at it to see what's going on. Did you have to use the entire vial? If the vial is like this and you only use 1 drop, you got a whole lot of work to do. Where are those other 4 vials going? Hello? That's your property. That's your DNA. This is how they get their specimens to do their research from us. And they don't tell us that they're doing this. They just take we need 5 vials of blood for the laboratory. No, they don't need 5 vials of blood for the laboratory. Even if they put it in a tube like this, they're only going to put so much blood in it and then drop it in the centrifuge for the thing to separate the blood from the plasma, and then you're going to have some blood and some plasma. In a tube like that, they don't need 5 vials, y'all. Do some research and find out what happens to your blood. It's your blood, your DNA. And you freely give it to them every time you stick your arm out there and they take 5 vials. They do not need 5 vials. You don't. And you don't have to give it to them. They cannot make you. Take 1 vial, that's all you get. The other 4 are mine. Hand them over. Or, like I do, I pull my arm. Once they fill one up, I pull the strap off. What are you doing? We're done. You got your blood. Nope, you got what you need. If you can't get it done with that, you can't get it done. Sorry. They cannot make you give up blood. It's not jail. And there's no law that says you have to give them the 4 extra vials. You don't. So stop. I've got stuff on here, you guys. Just look at it. Dr. Jewel Pookrum. Pookrum. Look her up. Watch her. Dr. Joy DeGroote. Look her up. Dr. Frances Cress Wessling. Look her up. Stop getting your head bumped by these charlatans out here who are using us for their experiments. They don't care about us. They don't care about you, don't care about your mama, don't care about your kids. I just showed you a video. They let that woman for 10 hours. She bled out. And as soon as they opened her up, she died. She coded. That's what coded means. She died on the table. She flatlined. They don't care about you. So over and over and over again, Ms. Prakal, I'm going to pound this home. They do not care about you. If I got to do this to save my mama, I got to do this to save my mama. If you want to help me save my mama, okay, thank you. But I'm not asking you to. I'm in this fight. I'm in this fight by myself. You want to get in it with me? You get in it with me. But I'm not asking you to. If you do, I'll thank you, and we'll get the fight on. Because when it's your turn, I'm going to fight right alongside of you. I only get down with those that get down with me. So that's where we are, Ms. Prakal, and I want to share that with you. Like I said, I was going to bring this back. We were going to do it again. I won't talk about this, but there's some other things that I want to talk about that we're going to get back into. I hope the platform didn't fall apart this time. I'm monitoring from a different place, and there was something that I wanted to check on. There's one other thing that I want to see, Ms. Prakal, that see if we can make it happen this way. So let me take a look, because I have to move around in what we may and may not be able to use. So yeah. So okay. So I have to go at it this way. This is the Hebrew Israelite Scriptures. That's what this is, as you can see right there. This comes from Kai Yeshua. We're going in here. The first page, we open it up. It is a Tefillah Yehovah. See right there. And okay, so I have to monitor this from a different source to make sure that we actually get over to that page. Okay, but that's okay. That's what I wanted to do, was to make sure that we were able to do so. Good thing. So get back. Here we go. So now we're back. All right. So since I'm doing this in a different platform and doing it in a different way, I have to bring things to the screen in a completely different way. And so now that I see that I can bring that to the screen that way, we'll have to do it that way. Unless I actually have it on a separate screen. Like here, I have it on a separate screen, and then I bring it to the screen this way. I have to bring it to the screen this way. But either way, I'm able to bring it up. I can see that I can bring it up. I actually I kind of like this, but then I kind of like the other one. It's cleaner. Doing it straight, doing it like this. I kind of prefer doing it like this. But you know, hey, it is what it is, and we'll just have to work around it until we get what we. But I'm okay with that. All right, I'm okay with that. Really, truly okay. So I am get back over here into this. I have to find out which ones I have certain tabs that you can hit to back up, and I'm just trying to figure out. So we're flying by the seat of our pants again, Mishpachah, and that is something that I wanted to share with you, bring that out, tell you that, look, they have no love for us, and show you a couple of things and how they are preparing. They're getting ready for something, and we are not. And we need to be getting ready. And if you're not getting ready, why? I want to know why. Why are you not getting ready? Why are you not? You should at least have a bag. I mean, if a calamity happens in your neighborhood, anything shuts down, you need to start heading for high ground. You need to start getting out of the cities. When it's going to, you know, if anything happens, I mean, you live in an area where they can shut down 2 freeways and you're stuck, you need to get outside of that area so you have some latitude, some room to move. It's like in Los Angeles. I was talking to my son. You know, if they shut down, there's a couple of freeways that are around him. They kill those 2 freeways. He's stuck. You can't get out the city. You're bounded by water on one side, so you can't get out the city. So water's on our west coast, and you have to travel east. But if they shut all the freeways down, you're stuck getting out of the city. You don't know how to take the streets and the roads to make your way out. You're stuck, and most people don't. Because the generations that have come behind us have been taught how to use the freeways only. They don't know how to use back roads and country roads, and they don't know how to use maps. They don't know about any of these things. They want to GPS everything. Look, I still got my maps and my Thomas Brothers guide and my Rand McNally's. That's the stuff that you need to rely on. Kids don't know about this stuff today. And parents, it's your fault you didn't teach them. Everybody wants to pick up their phone and turn on their GPS and let the GPS tell them where to go. Not me. I got maps. Because one day, GPS is going to go down. When this stuff goes down, there's nothing left. When they put an EMP on the system, and all of this technology dies because the EMP, electromagnetic pulse, will shut it all down, then what are you going to do? You better have you some paper maps and some Thomas Brothers books around. I'm going to leave it right there. So, Mishpachah, I think that we've said enough tonight. We've done enough tonight. I'm going to leave it right there. I want to say thank you for hanging out with me this Wednesday. We've gone an hour or so, or 2. Yeah, we're going to do it again. We most certainly are. And I want to thank you. By the time we do come around to do it again, it's going to be all good. So, I will see you later on the next go-round. How about that? How about that? All right, family? Love you. Posse up. Take care of yourself, baby.